How to make friends in high places. How do you get the people that you admire, your idols, your role models, the people that you respect to actually promote your work or follow you and endorse you? Now, today we're going to be talking about utilizing the strategy of the Dream 100, the people that you love and admire, and have a tangible strategy to eventually have them work together with you. Earlier in this series, we talked about how in your Dream 100, there are all these thought leaders on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, podcast. And one of the things I asked you to do is to list down who these people are in that list for you so that you can start being aware of how you can start working towards building a relationship with them. You've probably heard of saying, it's not just what you know, but who you know. So the first thing I want to say is this. I am probably the worst at this, and the reason for that is because deep at my core, I'm a really shy, introverted person. And the mere thought of going out there and network with people is extremely scary for me. And I know it sounds really funny, but I can actually handle speaking in front of a huge crowd, thousands of people, no issues, because that was a muscle I worked on. But if you ask me to go network with a bunch of strangers that I don't know, that is extremely scary for me because I'm not a deal maker. So understand your own personality type and double down on that. So if you're like me, if you're extremely introverted, I'm going to show you how you can do that as well. But if you are extroverted, you love being with people, you are a deal maker, then great. We're going to talk about how you can actually double down on these different personalities. But know that even if you're shy, even if you're introverted, this is an extremely powerful method when it comes to driving traffic. Just think about, imagine if somebody that you follow in your marketplace, in your niche, if this person were to send an email out or do a Facebook Live with you promoting your product, how much is that potentially worth to you? So let me share with you how you can actually make that happen. And the first way to make that happen is to start giving them a reason on why they should either follow you or work with you. And the best way to do that is to start developing a relationship first through serving them. Now, what does that mean? It means that if you can afford it, number one, go buy their stuff. Personally, for me, one person that I always wanted to work with and get to know better was Russell Brunson. And I joined his inner circle 5 years ago, and his inner circle today is $50,000 a year. And that's how I built a relationship with him. I wanted to get to know him better, so I just bought his stuff at the highest level, and I've been at that highest level since then. If you can't afford that just yet, if you're like me, slightly about 13 years ago where I was absolutely broke and there's no way I could afford that, then another way is by serving them. So for example, let's say you identified this author, this influencer, this person, and you want to start that relationship. Start off by either promoting their stuff. If they have a new launch, if they need help with something, offer help by just establishing a relationship with them. So for example, back to this Russell Brunson example, a couple of years back when Russell Brunson launched his book, Expert Secrets, he launched this book and he wanted to get this book out there. So what did I do? I promoted this book to like literally all these different channels, and I was the number one affiliate for this launch, Expert Secrets. So come from the angle of serving first. You see, the biggest mistake that's a huge turnoff is this. Like right now, same thing, Russell Brunson is having his next book launch for Traffic Secrets. And again, I'm supporting him. So notice what I'm doing, okay? I am building a relationship by just supporting the people that I think is cool. Okay, so the question you gotta ask yourself is, how can you start off by building a relationship by serving first? Most people start the conversation about, here's how you can help me, okay? But what if you to switch it around and come from an angle of serving and ask that person, how can I serve your community better? And come from the angle of, can I help you with this thing that I'm really good at? And you're not gonna pitch them anything. Better yet, go do that thing And without asking them, just give it to them. Like, hey man, I noticed that one of the things that I could see you having a lot more visibility when it comes to promoting this book is having more ad variation. So I happen to specialize in ad copy and video marketing. So I just created this really cool video that I know will help you get more sales when you run it as an ad. Here's this ad, I just sent it into your Dropbox, inbox, on your IGDM or whatever it might be. Feel free to go ahead and use it. Just let me know how it goes, right? So now, this is how you get noticed. You start the relationship off by making it a win-win. Making them win first before you even win. Okay, that's how you start developing this relationship. Now, as you start building this relationship, another great way to do it is to give them a reason to work with you. Now think about it. The person that you want to work with, who's this influencer, who's this thought leader, who has got millions of followers, you gotta think about what's in it for them. They're getting hundreds of requests every single day saying, please promote my stuff, right? They're bombarded in their inbox with those requests. If you wanna be working with people, other influencers who you know will be of value to you and your business, then you gotta ask yourself, the next thing is, can you give them a reason to work with you? And this is where, again, long term, if you've watched the previous videos on organic traffic, if you had your own show, okay, let's talk about your show. What if right now you've been working in silence and you have been working on your show, which is what do I mean by your show? Your show means Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, podcasting, whatever it might be. Imagine if you have been working on your show and now you have a decent following. You gotta ask yourself, which platform do you wanna be a star in? And build your show. So now imagine if you have that small following. What if you can make it a win for that person that says, hey man, so right now I have a small decent following on my Instagram. I now have like 30,000 people. I know it's not a whole lot of people, but I would love to be able to give value to you and have you on my show where I'll promote your product, right? It could be a podcast, it could be a Facebook, it could be YouTube, whatever it might be for you. Build your show so that now there's a reason for people to come on your show and work together with you. But you can only do that if you have your show. So as you are working on your Dream 100, the way you think about it is there are all these different levels. When I say levels, I don't mean to sound elitist, but at the bottom of the food chain is literally people with no followers. Now who's up here? Up here would be like the Pope and Batman. Over here, right, so at the highest level. Now you gotta ask yourself, where are you at? Are you at this level, this level, this level? There's many different levels to it. So you're always trying to work your way up one level. So if right now you're here and you try to reach out to the Pope or Batman, they're not gonna reply you. You wanna think about how can you build your show so that you reach the next level and you're always trying to reach one level above. Now that is how you start strategically working with these people. Another thing that you could be doing in your Dream 100 after you identify who they are, right, leveraging on a Dream 100, what if you could run ads to them and their followers? Now, this is the tactical side of things. I wanna show you how you can run ads, what I call the Dream 100 ads method, that many people, in fact, I've not seen really put effort into this, okay? So let's go into my computer right now. So this first person I wanna share with you is an ad that has done really, really well. A lot of engagements, comments, 1,600 shares. And this ad here is an ad that has made me a lot of money. Now this ad here, it says, when I was 15 years old, when I got my copy of Rich Dad, Poor Dad from my dad, I would never dream of sharing the stage with him all over the world. Now this ad here is an ad that is only shown to people who like Robert Kiyosaki's page or have read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If they do not know who he is, if they do not follow him on his page, they will never see this ad. Let me play you this video. Robert, just want to give you a big hug. Thank you for everything.
Oh, thank you.
Everybody loved you, and I just want to tell you, it was such a big moment for me because I don't know, remember when you met my dad, and my dad has a PhD. My dad he worked on a farm. He truly believed that success is all about hard work. And I remember when he bought me the book, I was 15 years old, but I didn't read it until 5 years later. And when I read it, everything changed for me. So, it's just so many ways.
Glad you keep up the good work. Keep teaching.
Probably one of the best. Okay, let me just pause this, okay? So you notice as this ad over here has got about 700,000 views, This is an ad that targets all of Robert Kiyosaki's followers about how it was this conversation that I had with him backstage. I've shared the stage of Robert Kiyosaki probably more than 20 times. We've toured the world together. And I have even introduced my dad to Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad and My Real Dad. And this ad over here, how did this ad originate from? Notice this ad is basically, it says, I got a copy of this, what I learned from him, and after that, I have a call to action to get people into my funnel. Okay, so basically what I'm talking about is story that's targeted only to Robert Kiyosaki's followers because it's how I learned from Robert Kiyosaki and how we shared the stage together now. A bridge to what it is that I do, and then after that, call to action. Now, one of the things you gotta think about is how can you create these Dream 100 ads so that they start noticing you. Robert Kiyosaki has seen this ad like a couple of times, right? And the way you start getting them to notice is if, number one, you show it to their audiences, and you do it in a way that is elegant. You talk about perhaps the biggest things you've learned from them, how they have served you, how the top 5 things you discovered from reading their books, attending the trainings, whatever it might be. So for this Robert Kiyosaki example, it would be one of the things that I discovered from Robert Kiyosaki is that the rich doesn't work for money, the rich works for assets. And one of the things that I realized in today's world, the new assets is social media. What if you could actually create assets on social media and have these assets working for you when you collect rent, which is basically getting more clicks, more visibility by doing the video once and then collecting rent on that video forever. Now, I actually distilled that entire process of how I create these assets online today in this book called, and then I take out my book, called Content Multiplier Formula. And if you want to discover what the 9-step process is, I reveal all in here. Go grab a copy, websitelink.com. So now I am establishing a relationship because I'm saying great things about this person. And by the way, this is just one example. What if I told you that I have an ad for every single person in my Dream 100? I have an ad for Tony Robbins followers. I have an ad for Russell Brunson's followers. I have an ad for Les Brown's followers. I have an ad for people that has read Think and Grow Rich. I have an ad for Gary Vee's audiences. All these different people, I have a specific ad that targets them and their followers. Now, this is how you start niching down, and this is how you start being noticed by these guys that you might follow, like, or admire, and build this long-term relationship with them. You either, number one, come in at the highest level, buy their most expensive stuff. You either promote their stuff, build a relationship with them, or start getting yourself noticed, say great things about them, if that's true for you, what you've learned, run ads that targets them and their followers and their people, and make sure it links, you create a bridge back to what it is that you do, serve them, make sure you give them a reason for them to promote you or work together with you by working on your show. So this is the long-term strategy, and always try to work with one person slightly higher than you in this hierarchy, and that's how you make it happen. Let me know in the comments below what your biggest takeaway is. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and as always, make sure you smash the like button if you found value from this, subscribe, and so if you like this video on traffic, this book right here that was just released by my friend Russell Brunson is literally the #1 book on traffic. I literally paid $50,000 for this book, and the reason for that is because I'm part of Russell Brunson's mastermind that's $50,000 a year, and one of the things that he did is he gave this book to us about half a year before it went public. But it's finally live right now, and if you'd like to get a copy of this book, the details are below this video in the description. And one of the things that I did to support my friend Russell Brunson is I've prepared all these different bonuses that helps you with the streamlining of your traffic, creating systems around it, but most importantly, implementing all of the strategies in here. Details are all below this link. If you're gonna get the #1 best book on traffic, you might as well get some killer bonuses together with it. Details are below in the description box. I'll see you on the other side.